Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for one of these for quite a while. Here is a Trollhunters Rise of the Titans trailer analysis. I'm not gonna lie, this scene kind of makes me feel suspicious, even if it's in the beginning of the trailer. Why is the kid wearing a shirt that seems to bear the emblem of Camelot? Maybe it's a design choice? Maybe it's not a coincidence? Either way, that's just sus. If this scene somewhat strikes most people as familiar, that may be because during the beginning of the teaser for Rise of the Titans, it was also featuring a ground that was crumbling to pieces. This could be that with people. This at least lets us know that the Nature Titan is gonna rise somewhere where there's people in it. It might be a city or somewhere in a forest. I don't know. This must be what most people were waiting for. It's Skrael's Titan. And as we can see, it's icy. And we know that this belongs to the Arcane Order because, as we can see right above the sphere, it seems to bear an Arcane Order logo. It bears magic, so it has to be Skrael's. Another thing to point out right after this scene where the Ice Titan leaves, we can see to the left of this scene that there's a radio station. And we usually see these in places that are remote or there's no human contact. Maybe somewhere like Antarctica, where there's plenty of ice. Maybe that's why Titans will arise from all over the world, because Antarctica is included. This next one is very well known. It's the Fire Titan for the Arcane Order. Now, as we've seen in the teaser before, it's a volcano rising to become a Titan. But where did the Arcane Order get this volcano? Many people might say that this rose from the ocean or sea, but I think it's a volcano from Argentina, because it was the only volcano mentioned in the entire Tales of Arcadia trilogy, and that's why I think it's Ojos del Salado from Trollhunters. I think they're gonna bring it back. These next two scenes are practically the same thing, but it still features the Nature Titan. We know that it rose from somewhere with people, and as we see with all of this trees, it can't be Arcadia or Hoboken for all we know, because they're cities, they're major cities, and we've seen what Arcadia's forests look like, so I don't think it's that. Where could it come from though? Next up, in this hilarious screenshot, we can see that behind Toby, who's acting like an idiot, we can see the letter S on a pillar. As of right now, I don't know what it is, but it just seemed off to me, so I wanted to point that out. This next scene is very exciting because we can see a lot of the old Tales of Arcadia cast come together. From left to right, I can see Nomura, Blinky Arg, Eli, Aja Krell, Stuart, Toby, Claire, Jim, Lug, Duxie, Barbara, and Strickler. That's pretty much everyone. Although, I have to wonder, where is this headquarters? Where could it be? I mean, now it's a mix of both magic and technology. So, this doesn't look familiar. Where could it be? Behind the characters, we can see a lot of magic and technological items. However, if you pay attention to Jim's face, right over here, you can notice that he's injured. But where did he get that cut from? Maybe he got cut when he was fighting someone in the subway. You know, this image with him holding a serrator. He could be fighting Belrock, because in this image, we can see that the train is being burned by Belrock. So, there's a chance that they fought. What made me sure it was a train are these windows and handles that could be seen in both of these images. So, I think Jim fought Belrock in a train somewhere. In these successive images, we can see Belrock using her magic to cast a fire titan. We've seen these images many times, but we never knew how they were going to be used. And up to this point, we still don't know how they're going to be used. Now this fire titan we can see here, I can see mountains, the lights. It all seems very familiar, because I think the fire titan was brought to Arcadia by Belrock. I don't know why bring it to Arcadia, it's already suffering enough, but arcane choice. In front of Blinky we can see an open book. I don't know what it contains, but it must contain something very useful for the Guardians of Arcadia, if that's what it takes. Remember when I mentioned where Jim and Belrock fought in a train? I think this is gonna be in a major city. I feel like it's either Hoboken or more likely New York, because if we look on the map, the state of New Jersey and the state of New York are neck and neck with each other. I think this might be New York. I think another possible indicator that this is gonna majorly take place in New York is the traffic crash, because it happened on a bridge. And the nearest bridge near Hoboken is the Brooklyn Bridge from New York. So, I think this proves that New York is going to be a major location for Rise of the Titans as well. We know that this takes place at a bridge because this scene literally proves that they are at a bridge. And it's also during this time we see literal fighter jets flying from the other side to attack a fire titan. Wow. Oh man. I really can't wait to see this movie, but moving on. In this shot of Jim, Toby, and Aja, we don't exactly know what they're looking at, but based on the reflections off of Toby's armor, it's somewhat purplish. So I have to guess that Claire has something to do with this. In this one, we can see Krell falling off of something. What is this something? I don't know, but it has to be a fire titan sort of thing because we can see the orange all around it. Oh, yeah, and Claire saves Krell somehow from, you know, certain death. As we can see here, Duxie is riding Arg, who is running away from something. What is this something? I have no clue, but it could be the Nature Titan. That's what I'm gonna assume. Here in this scene, we see a literal Acrodian kaiju, which is being ridden by Varvatos in this one. It seems to have blue and red energies. I don't know what the red energies could be, but based on previous 3 Below experiences, did they get some of Galen's core? And that's a mystery. Everyone knows the classic Sword in the Stone legend, but have they heard of the Trollhunters version? Yeah, that's gonna be so much better. However, we might have to wait and theorize on this one. Everyone's holding the stone. Does that mean Jim is gonna use a lot of strength to pull Excalibur from the stone? Like it's gonna be so heavy he might lift the stone as well? I don't know, I think that's gonna be kind of funny. The one on the left is the trailer, the one on the right is the teaser, but they both show the green orb. Could this mean that whatever Duxie's holding is a miniature Heart of Avalon? I mean, we have seen a literal Heart of Avalon in Wizards. I'm not gonna be surprised considering they both have rings that spin in different directions. I think it's a miniature Heart of Avalon. What did it take for Jim to pull out Excalibur from the stone? I have a feeling it took a lot of self-doubt before Jim could pull it out. It's gonna be very epic once we see it in the movie, but we have to wait. Based on the new crystal that Jim is holding, could this be the gem that was on Excalibur? And considering it's the same green tone as the Heart of Avalon, Does this mean this is what they use to form a new Heart of Avalon? Could be. Considering what I mentioned earlier about Toby, Jim, and Aja being in New York, maybe this is what they were seeing. The fight between the Acaridian Kaiju and the Fire Titan. Although, why would it be in New York? That's the question. Jim and Bellrock are fighting on a train, as we can see here. And based on of this image, it looks like that Jim's face is clean. Is this where he gets his injury? Who knows? Here we can see Jim, Arg, and Duxie in the Fire Titan. Are they really just gonna charge in like that? Although there is Varvatos, Claire, and Krell, so I think they got a plan. When I first saw this blue thing here, for a moment, I tried to figure out what that was. Although had I been patient and continued the rest of the trailer, I would have seen it was still being used to combat the Ice Titan, which was being commandeered by Aja. So at least we can see that. Another thing worth pointing out in this next scene, where the Acaridian spaceship is combating the Fire Titan, we can see on the right a Heartstone. Could this be the same Heartstone we saw in that image with Duxie and Claire? And if it is the same Heartstone as the two images we've seen, so this has to be in Arcadia because the toilets and the lights are the same thing. So I think they're fighting in Arcadia. They're fighting the Fire Titan in Arcadia. Wherever Jim and Claire may be standing in this scene, we can see behind them the emblem of Camelot. So this has to be somewhere with magic as well. In this blurred image, I feel like I'm making out Arcadian restaurants. Oh yeah, and the truck that's in the middle is the El Guerrito taco truck, aka Stewart's. So, does this mean that they're bringing whatever this thing is from Arcadia to somewhere else? Here we see Jim in a fight with Bellrock, this time wielding Excalibur on the Fire Titan. This is gonna be an epic fight, I know it. So, let's just wait, again. So, we haven't heard much about the Hoboken Troll Market, although this image looks like it is part of Troll Market, because if you can see behind Jim and Claire, there's a stone face, which seems eerily similar to the one in Hoboken Troll Market, the one from the teaser. So, could this battle take place in the Hoboken Troll Market? Another thing that proves that the Fire Titan is attacking them in Arcadia is if you look at the bus, it actually says Arcadia Oaks High, meaning this battle takes place in Arcadia. Based on what we've witnessed in the trailer, it seems that Duxie's staff made everyone's limbs stick to the van. Although, when I try to think, I think it's a magnetic spell because later on in the trailer we see Toby struggle to get out. He's wearing his armor. Maybe it's because it is a magnetic spell. So we can also see here in these 4 successive images that Jim and his friends are charging the Fire Titan in Arcadia. Now we know that it's Arcadia for sure. What is this purple aura? Is it Claire? In New York? Or New Jersey? Either way, let me hear your guess in the comments. In this unflattering shot of Jim, we can see that he's holding Excalibur while wearing his new set of armor, the one we saw in the teaser. So, I was right. Jim has his armor and Excalibur at the same time, even though previously we've seen him with a serrator. But from this angle, we can see Jim and his armor But on his chest, there's a circular piece. Could this be the new amulet for the armor and Excalibur? Because in the teaser, we've only seen part of his armor, but we didn't see it with an amulet. And that was my analysis for the Trollhunters Rise of the Titans trailer. I hope you guys liked the video, and thank you for watching.